Love for many of us began in the kitchen, in the warmth of firewood, in the sound of a spoon against the sufuria, in the quiet sacrifices of our mothers and grandmothers. Food has always been more than a meal. It has been care, sacrifice, presence, all wrapped together. The Valentine season is here. Love is upon us. We are exploring love through the one place that has held our deepest memories, the kitchen. From the smoky village kitchens of our childhood to the modern spaces we cook in today, has cooking changed? Has love changed? And as we evolve, can we honor tradition while embracing cleaner, easier way to nourish the people we love? Welcome. This is Food is Love. So we're joining Paul in the kitchen, and Paul will be taking us through what he's doing. But first, Paul, you will do an introduction and tell us what you do and why you're cooking today.
My name is Paul Osogo. I am the CEO of Ignis Innovation, a clean cooking company that actually provides clean cooking appliances. I love cooking because I'm a father of 3 children, and they love my food as I cook.
And that is interesting to note. What are you preparing for us today?
Today we'll be having meat, saute meat, and I believe we will enjoy it, saute and chapati.
Interesting that you're doing saute on an EPC. Not something that I believe most people do, because most often we know that when you're using a pressure cooker, you have to lock it so that pressure can build up for cooking. How is that different with the electric pressure cooker you're using?
The electric pressure cooker gives you an opportunity to cook with it open because of the safety fridges. And I believe we can cook saute, we can cook ugali with the same pressure cooker.
Oh, nice. And that is nice to know. So we will be moving from Paul's desk. I believe we'll be coming back at some point when, as he continues to cook. And I know it's going to be a delicacy that you all want to have a taste of. But now I want us to move and shift gears to talk to 3 gentlemen who are accomplished. They will be telling us more about themselves, what they do, and how whatever they do impacts the clean cooking sector. Thank you so much. Today on set, I'm joined by 3 gentlemen. I would like them to introduce themselves and tell us what they do as we are experiencing love in this season, because love is upon us. We want to understand what men understand with food and love, how they relate to that. And they'll be talking to us more about how they are impacting the clean cooking industry. Thank you so much, Dennis, for joining us. Kindly introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and how whatever you're doing is making evolution possible in the clean cooking sector.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Dennis Nderitu. I am the Managing Director at Ignis Innovation. Ignis is an infrastructure platform that is trying to deploy clean cooking at scale. So you're starting with institutions and also serving households and trying to transition people, or succeeding at transitioning people from using dirty fuel like charcoal, firewood, and the likes. And we're pulling them or pushing them to a direction where they're using electricity, they're using LPG, and other cleaner sources of fuel. I mean, for me, when it comes to the Valentine's period, I think it's normally said in Africa that the way to a man's heart is through the stomach.
Wow.
And I believe it's the same for everyone else. So what we are trying to do is to ensure that people are enjoying cooking as a process. It doesn't become a smoky process, doesn't become too long, doesn't become tedious, becomes an enjoyable process, the same way they enjoy their meals. And secondly, we want to also make sure that we are looking at the future. So the future, we want people to have energy efficiency, which means they spend less money on cooking, on the fuel of cooking, and they allocate that money to other things.
Wow.
And secondly, in the future, we're not going to have a lot of dirty fuels. We're going to be using electricity a lot. So we want to make sure the households, the institutions are ready for that future as early as now.
Wow.
So that's the work that we do at Ignis Innovation. We are trying to become ambassadors and also implementers of this transition.
Wow, that is impressive. The transition is real and it's here with us. But I want to move gears and probably move on to events. Events, you want to take it up from here? Please tell us who you are, what you do, and whatever it is that you're doing, how it is that it's impacting the clean cooking space. Yes.
All right. Yeah, my name is Evans Kayo. I'm a managing partner at Base Consulting, and we're a tech consultancy providing support to the energy and climate space, particularly on an advisory perspective, but also on tech software development perspective as well. Clean cooking is actually quite critical and central to the work that we do because we have a number of partners that we're working with to ensure that we're able to avail clean cooking technologies affordably to households. As my colleague Dennis said, that there is that process aspect that needs to be looked into. We want to make sure that households are cooking in a manner that is not impacting them negatively from a health perspective. But what we look at Base Consulting is how exactly we can make these transitions while not affecting the household budget severely. And we're looking at it from a technology cost perspective. How do we ensure that we reduce the cost of technology significantly? We're also looking at it from budget supplementary perspective. That is from a carbon revenue generation perspective. If households are able to transition en masse, could we leverage a project such as that to generate enough revenue to come and negate the cost of transition? So it's critical because we know that in households, budgets are usually handled by both the father and the mother. And it's critical that when we're looking at such kind of budgets, we look at them from a harmonized perspective. And that is the reason why we always want to ensure that we reduce the cost of cooking as much as possible. So the work that we do is to look at how these reductions can be done, whether it's from a technology reduction perspective or even from a fuel cost reduction perspective. Also, from a national point of view, we are also looking at how transition costs can be reduced at the national level, because we are cognizant of the fact that these transitions will have certain kind of impacts from a taxation perspective. If you are taxing fuels, dirty fuels in the past, if we lose that taxation, where will that replacement come from? And our work at Base Consulting is centered on that, because we know that it is critical that that also forms part of the conversation to ensure that these transitions actually happen in a sustainable manner, both environmentally but also economically sustainable.
Thank you so much, Kyle. That is a lot of information that I believe as we continue and progress with this program, we'll be able to get more of what he's talking about. But I want us to introduce our group CEO, Nya, as he likes us to call him. I'd like you to tell us more about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how whatever it is that you do impacts the clean cooking set.
Hi, Biz, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
What do you want me to say?
Tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how whatever it is that you do impacts clean cooking.
I'm Nyengena Brian. I prefer going by Nya, as they've said. I lead the team at Vast Carbon, and what we do at Vast Carbon is we support players. As you've heard my two colleagues earlier mention, that getting these solutions all the way to the home is very necessary, and to do that has a cost implication. And within the current markets you're working with, one innovative ways in which you can add on to the capital stack and reduce the cost of these solutions going to the home is through carbon credits. So our job at Vast Carbon is to walk that journey with anyone who's trying to do something like this, support them, because I'm sure a lot of us have heard about carbon markets, but the knowledge and the process and the skills necessary for you to develop a project within those frameworks is not available. And what we do is try to provide that as an avenue. We also are very big on technology. So we support players to embed the technological stack among it to enhance integrity. We've done a lot of interesting things, and I'm sure as we continue conversing, you'll hear a lot more about our work.
So we're moving away from the technical bit of what the business does, and we want to break it down to what really is food. How does food communicate love to you as a viewer? How does it communicate love to men? How does it communicate love to women? And I'm going to be engaging our directors here today so they can tell us more on their understanding when it comes to food. Probably I'm going to start with Nya. There's a lot of competition happening right here on the pool table. So when you see me making faces or laughing, it's because of what's happening here. But we're going to move to Nya.
Wouldn't? Stefan, I come closer to you. Or...
It's okay.
Oh,
Because you have a microphone.
so yeah.
Just what memories do you have of you?
Seneca 14.
Kiambo nikate tomato. I was one who was chopping up oil, onions. My mom was not a really good cook, mom, sorry so much. So she taught us how to cook. And for us, it was a time that we really realized planning. Was growing up, I think I was raised by a single mom. So those were the times when we would sit together as a family. So I associate food mostly with that. And as much as her food was not the best, we had no option than do it. But those were still memories that we had. We're sitting down and having conversations. There's even one time I remember my sister did not like how my mom used to cook pilau. And then I come from the coast. So my sister volunteered to help her cook the pilau because my mom would not have done a very good job at it. Suffice to say, they did also do a good job as well in that. But those are some of the interesting memories that I had after doing. And I can say this without fear of contradiction. I am the best cook in my family. I can tell you that, man. Take her to the bank here and find out.
Does he have so much confidence? He said you can take that to the bank. But I mean, that one is something that he can also experience here, yeah? Because you have the electric pressure cookers. Maybe we can have you cook for us one of these fine days.
No problem.
Pilau the things.
That's the pilau. Pilau. Like in your biryani. Chapati is very pilau I get for you guys. So the next time you're doing this, makelele. I'll be looking like a very good friend here. The pizza.
Thank you. So if this
Yes.
out to, what memories do you have of your mom in the kitchen?
Excellent memories, actually, as a matter of fact, because first of all, I'm a relatively good cook. Okay, yeah, relatively good cook, but a little, yes, not better. Yeah, maybe not better than him, but yeah, I'm a relative in the two. Yeah, and all that is attributed to the guidance of my mom.
I cook, my friend.
So I remember when we were young, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to our early teenage. We used to spend a lot of time in the kitchen with her. So we'd see how she cooks, we'd see how she'd measure the ingredients, see how she would choose the ingredients. Our favorite meal to cook was pilau and beef. Yeah, so I learned that from her. Yes, I can cook pilau. I can cook biryani as well. I can cook, my best dish is actually liver. So I can cook very good liver as well. And all that is because of the guidance of mom. So yeah, as well, thank you very, very much, mom. So all that that I know as far as cooking is concerned is basically all coming from her. So those memories actually contributed to making me be able to cook for my loved ones from time to time.
So when you think of your mom in the kitchen, what comes to mind first?
Organization and cleanliness. Yes. If I remember very well, one of the things that she used to insist on was cleanliness. Her famous term or other phrase is, keep your area of work clean. All right? Yeah, so anytime that we'd cut our ingredients, tomatoes, onions, capsicum and all that, once that is done and it's in the sosteria, she'd make us go back and clean that entire area so that even as the food is cooking, the kitchen is clean. So that is one of the favorite, one of the most impactful memories that I have of her, because I can see it translates to other areas of my life.
If your mother had easier, faster ways to cook back then, how do you think her life would have been different?
Obviously, the time savings there would have been significant. Okay, because for example, if you find situations where you'd cook beef for 30-40 minutes, that means that you have to be back and forth checking on it for 30-40 minutes. So that's time wasted that would go towards doing some other productive things. But right now there are other technologies like the electric pressure cooker that can cook your beef in much more significant time. And it's not to say that back then you did not have electric pressure cookers per se, but the safety standards back then were not that good. So you'd see that we were having a lot of issues with adoption, or other people who were pushing them back then were having a lot of issues with adoption because of that safety issue or that safety concern that even my mom had. So yeah, so we'd have that device there because probably she wanted to promote a friend or something by purchasing it, but we will not use it. Yes, we will not use it.
Sure, and then there's a doctor.
Exactly. So we will not be able to use it. So to answer your question, the time savings for sure would have worked very well.
Okay, Thank you. Maybe I want to move to Dennis, and probably Dennis, if you could come closer to the set. And I need to understand from you, when a woman cooks for you, what does it mean?
It's a very good question during this season. I think when a woman cooks for me, I feel like it's goes hand in hand with mostly the role that women play in our world, which is they nurture the whole world. They give us, small babies. They give us give us very good moments. So I think the nurturing attitude of a lady comes out very clearly when she cooks for me. I do not love cooking a lot, but I love enjoying a good meal. I can cook meat, fried beef. I think I can cook eggs as well. Easy peasy. But I think what I'm looking forward to is one of the reasons why I can't really cook is because I can't be able to regulate fire, like knowing when to put full fire on the LPG or on the electric cooker and when to simmer and all this. Also, the measuring of ingredients is a bit of an issue for me. But I'm thinking, and in my mind, I'm saying, using things like the pressure cooker, where you can just put all your ingredients in after you've measured them. You sort of preset if you want broth, if you want whatever you want to cook, you want chicken, you just have a preset button, and all you need to do is not wait until the thing is done and you enjoy your meal. That probably will take me back to the kitchen.
So plug and play.
Plug and play. That's what I love.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you remember, if you're to recall your days growing up,
Yeah.
what do you remember about kitchens with firewoods and smoke?
So I grew up partly in Nyeri, in our village home with my grandmother and my grandfather.
Interesting.
And we used to spend a lot of time in the kitchen because in Nyeri or in rural places, I think with everyone, you spend a lot of time in the kitchen cooking because it takes about 1 or 2 hours to cook or 3 hours. And the grandmother will spend all her time there anyway. So you spend time there talking as she's preparing food. One of the delicacies that we have from the central region is something called mokimo. And it's something that only a few people can prepare very good mokimo. Like preparing it, and then there's mashing it. And my grandmother is a pro at that. So I used to enjoy watching her do something she enjoyed a lot. But the one thing that I remember pertaining your question is that as she was cooking with firewood, meant two things. Number one, the kitchen was always smoky because you don't put out the fire once you're done. You still leave it running. And secondly, getting firewood was a big deal because if it rains, all the firewood that you would have gone and fetched and all this is wet. So you actually have a problem in preparing your food. So I think these are some of the challenges. Even though it was a pleasant experience, spending time with her, all the stories that she gave me, I think it could have been better. And one of the implications that I've seen throughout the years is that she and many other of her peers have had some issues with their lungs, issues with their chest. And she's, come to Nairobi a couple of times to get checkups and, to see doctors because of that. And I think that could have been avoided if it was cleaner cooking. But then the moment of just sharing time together would still have been there. So, yeah.
Do you think culture shapes cooking?
100%. I think cooking is cultural. The first question you asked was, how I feel if a woman cooks for me. I think traditionally, it's been mostly the ladies cooking for the men. Exactly. And also we have foods that are very cultural. Like I said, mokimo, mostly, you do it on an open fire and then do the mashing on the ground and then take it back to the open fire. There's, another dish in our region is githeri. Again, people want to cook it on an open fire because it takes a lot of time to boil it. So it's very cultural, and some of it is because of the nature of the food and how long it takes to cook. Secondly is there's some taste, some acquired taste that comes from the firewood. So, if you're roasting your meat, there's some very good acquired taste if you get from different types of firewood that you use. So it's extremely cultural if you think about it that way. And I think even our social norms are aligned to, the females preparing food more than the males, whether they're together or they're not together. Yeah.
Maybe, Nya, I would like to pull you back in the set and probably ask a question. So, growing up, did you have problems with boys being allowed in the kitchen, or for you, it was just everyone in the kitchen?
Everyone in the kitchen. I grew up with 3 sisters. Now the first one, the new. Let me even tell you a very interesting story. So you never find me any day. Growing up, Githeri was the only food. And then the one thing I remember as a routine, every Sunday, I would wake up, niakishe jiko, and then
Zit kuhakisha jiko.
No clear, to be honest. So I will do a lot of that, and then I will put the githeri, and then I will prepare my sisters, I will take them to Yaringo. When we will come back, githeri maybe they tell the money to buy tomato, etc. So
Wow.
I had a neighbor who was very good friend of mine, anatupatianga blue band. So tunachemsha githeri, unaweka, chumvi, and then you go ask for margarine to make the githeri much better. So I remember growing up, I promised my mom as a joke, "Mom, tumekula githeri sana. When I grow up in my house, that's the one food that I will
Never eat.
never eat again." And my mom would keep forcing us to cook. So I would cook a lot of times. And then when I eventually now had my own home, githeri became
An ex.
an ex. So they will cook for themselves, but I will never eat.
So you don't eat githeri.
I don't eat just because of a trauma it reminds me.
It's trauma. To say githeri, you associate with trauma.
Yes, unless I have been invited as a guest, because you know in African traditions, ukikuwa chakula, you should not say no.
Now, if you compare, because you've given us a story of how you like the jiko, and I know the drama that comes with lighting a jiko, you've cried, you're frustrated, it's not lighting. How do you compare that season with whatever is happening with evolution in cooking in terms of using the plug and play solutions that we have?
A lot has changed.
Yes.
And I will approach it two ways.
Yes.
There's what I know and the people around me. And then there's what is at home. I had Evans tell a story about how when he bought the thing and then it would stay at home and it not end up being used. What my mom associates an EPC with is boiling githeri or boiling beans.
Yes.
It takes a long time. And for her, I think there's still the misconception that cooking with LPG or firewood is a cheap option.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, the house help we managed to get to help my mom is a very big proponent of EPCs on how concrete can cook for them. And she's very conscious. I think Gen Zs have become very much aware of what happens in the ecosystem. So there's a lot of that. In my own home, I use EPCs and inductions cook. Purely, it's been very helpful for me. And I think part of the reason why I'm very excited to talk about these things is because I have seen how it has helped me. And I know the biggest barrier right now is access to that. I would want to say I think I'm privileged the most to be able to get that. But I feel a typical household will typically not be able to get anything like that. So the thing that incentivizes me to even do the work that I do is trying to find innovative solutions within our ecosystem to make these other people experience what I have been experiencing in terms of the cooking experience.
So now that you've spoken about electric cooking in your house, how do you compare the prices? Because I know the barrier has largely been the perception on costs that will be incurred when you use electricity to cook. How are we just having a perception, or have we done measurements to be able to ascertain that if you're using charcoal or LPGs, it's affordable than if you're using electricity?
We have done. So internally at Vascarbon, a number of us are having APCs in their home and we're trying to collect data.
Yes, sure.
And very soon you should be seeing us put our findings out in terms of the cooking time GTC. But I can tell you in terms of cooking, for me, I've seen significant changes and a typical meal in terms of both savings in time and cost. And I'm a very big believer in showing. So instead, nikisema hapa nitaonekana nauza sera. I have to be able to give data. Actually, we do that. But what I can tell you is that the savings are very much there. And I think it's very important that we make that public. We show people what this can do and create that movement to enable people to move that perception towards cleaner cooking options. Of course, there are realities of the world where there are places where access to the grid is not available, grid is not stable. And for those, we need to be able to find solutions that can fit, will be fit for purpose for that audience. And I know that's a lot of the work that we're trying to figure out. How are we able to do that? How do you, when you're working with people, for instance, there's some work we're doing with days and MEX in terms of how you do a DC, solar battery powered EPC. Because if you're sitting in areas where grid access is not as stable as it's supposed to be, you don't want the cooking experience to be taken. Because imagine if you're cooking ugali, tema ipotea hiyo ni omda imeharibika. So things such as that, and just adjusting the realities of this solution in the grid for the context under which we operate. Because yes, I am in the urban area, but majority of the population is in the rural area, and the realities of those are things that we need to be able to consider. And I want to be at the forefront of giving those solutions.
Maybe that's another question. I know you're a father to girls. Do you cook with your girls? Do you teach them how to cook? How is that for you?
Yes, I don't do it as much as I think I should.
Okay.
And it's a thing that I'm trying to improve right now. So the last time I cooked with them, we did pancakes. They really enjoy doing that. They like chips.
Okay.
So I cooked chips with them as well a number of times. And you can see the fun experience, especially when the steam is in a top.
Releasing
the steams. It always fascinates them. Just seeing them very excited about that. And for me, the young experience the same way you asked me, how was it lighting a jiko? And I was telling you about that. For me, I'm very excited because this is what I know.
Hell.
And they will start from an EPC. Like the baseline has changed from what my baseline now is.
Yes.
So that in the young mind, they will remember we used to cook with my band using this. And that's the thing I want them to always keep pushing forward.
Okay.
But this is a generational thing. You have to almost look at it as theory of change.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't change all of a sudden. And then there are many things that are supporting the ecosystem that you need to work on. We're taking a couple of those, but it needs to be a collective effort. And for the kids, I think the more you show them how that works, the better it is for them.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Evans, I want to pull you back here and probably just ask in line with what I just asked. Yeah, I know you're a dad.
Yes.
If you were to teach your son how to cook, how do you think you'd go about it?
That's a very good question. I think cooking itself is both an art and a science. It's both an art and a science, and I think I'd begin by making him appreciate that first. So there's the artistic side of cooking, which is always about presentation, always about taste and everything. Then there's the scientific part of cooking, which is about measurement, making sure that you have the right ingredients in terms of sizing, making sure that the ingredients as they go in, they're mixed in the proper manner, the same way you'd mix ingredients in a chemistry lab. So I'd make sure that first he appreciates the artistic nature of cooking, making sure that when you serve and you present the food to the people that are enjoying your food, they see it and they appreciate the visual aspects of it. Then they go ahead and appreciate the taste aspect of the food. So making sure that even in terms of measurement now on the scientific side, in terms of measurement, he gets that measurement right, because it doesn't only affect the taste, but also affects your budget. Because when you go over budget in your ingredients, it means that from a business perspective, if you're running a business, it becomes something different. So getting him to see things from all aspects, all perspectives.
I think I love the fact that you're also trying to pull business into the special cooking. That's interesting. Now, how do you relate food in love?
How do I relate food in love? So essentially, I consider the process of making food for someone as one of the love languages. It's an act of service.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and the only way you can prepare food that someone appreciates is if you know what they appreciate. So that means that you have to know the person in there.
Nice.
Yes, for you to be able to know what to prepare for them. And just by virtue of the fact that you know this person to that level, it means that you've demonstrated some level of interest in them. You've demonstrated a level of interest to know exactly what they like, and then to prepare what they actually like. So it doesn't start at the kitchen, but actually starts from a date or two beforehand, so that you appreciate what they like, and then you prepare what they like. So it's love end to end, because you get to understand what this person actually truly likes.
This man really loves me. Then he's cooked for me many times.
No, I'm no homo. Hey, Yes, yeah. So it starts with the appreciation of the person.
I think I love the fact, maybe I haven't looked at it from that perspective, that it has to start from knowing the person before you can even express love through your cooking. Have you ever cooked for someone you love?
Yes, I have. I have cooked for my kids before. Yeah. And they like I mentioned before, I cook very good liver. Okay. Yeah, so they used to look to
How do you accompany the liver?
Fried rice.
Oh, fried rice.
Yes.
That's a lot of cooking.
Yes, there's a lot of cooking, and I like to do it because, again, it's love. So you get to understand that they appreciate that kind of cooking, and they do it from the bottom of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what would you like to see in the near future in terms of evolution in the kitchen?
In terms of evolution in the kitchen, obviously.
And maybe tie it to love, because one thing that is certain is that all the solutions we have in our households, or that we need to get in our households, would also need to be bought, and most of the time goes with who makes the decision to pay for that cost. So how does a man look at that, and how do you tie the evolution to showing care to your family? Yes.
Excellent. No, I think the process of cooking, like we said, doesn't start at the kitchen. And now that you mentioned it, I'm thinking that cooking can be viewed as a bonding mechanism for the family.
Sure.
Okay. You don't only expect the mom to be in the kitchen cooking. We might have, say, family cook days. Okay, where each member of the family comes in and says, listen, I'm going to pitch in by cooking this, I'm going to pitch in by cooking that. Then we bring it all together and they start rating each other. It's a fun activity that the family can have together. And if our society start looking at it like that, then all these norms that we've had in the past about this is the role of the woman to cook, this is the role of the man not to cook, and all these things will start breaking down, and we start looking at it solely as a bonding mechanism for the family. So in terms of from a social perspective, that is what I'd really, really hope for us to see. From a technological perspective, obviously, cooking devices that make it easy for people to spend time in the kitchen, because you do not want to spend time in a smoky kitchen.
Yeah, sure.
So can we get technologies that enable people to actually want to spend time in the kitchen, because of the fact that first, you do not have very high temperatures that are making people sweat in the kitchen, not be able to maintain their presence in the kitchen comfortably. Then smokeless technologies that ensure that at least you're in the kitchen and you're not feeling the fumes. So that makes it easy for such kind of interventions where cooking is seen as a social kind of thing for the family to be able to be possible. So one, look, the change of perspective of what cooking is all about, looking at it as a fun activity for the family, and secondly, technological improvements that ensure that the kitchen becomes a conducive environment for everyone to spend time in.
Oh, nice. I would like to pull all the gentlemen here because we have some quick fire questions. And Dennis, Paul, you could also join in the set because I want to have some quick fire. And even before we get to the quick fire, I want to ask every one of you to tell me what your plans for Valentine's are.
My plan for Valentine's, I think I'll have a date with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll
So lovely.
yeah, I think I'll keep that entire day just for her. Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
Not very clear about exactly what we'll do, but I'm clear about the fact that
You'll spend it.
spending it with her.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Dennis, what's your plan for Valentine's?
So I wanted this to be a surprise, so I hope you're not going to air this before Valentine's so that the person I'm taking out doesn't see it. I'm going to have a weekend with my wife, so starting Friday evening. I don't think I'll cook for her, but I'll make sure she eats very good food.
Nice. Yeah, what's your plan for Valentine's?
Date with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
A weekend actually with my daughter.
A weekend with your daughters. Wonderful. Paul, most guys here are father to daughters, yeah? So you have to come close.
Sure, apart from me.
Oh, yeah, apart from Dennis.
He can has a. I'm the only pure girls. He has a son.
Oh, he has a son. He has a son.
And 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So maybe take us to what's your plan for the weekend?
I'm an open kind of person, open in the field. So I'm planning a camping with my daughters. And camping, that involves a lot of cooking. Yes.
I'm going to do a quick fire. This question goes to Paul and Dennis. Quick one. Mom's food or wife's food?
I will not answer. I choose a
Mom food.
Mom's food. And Dennis opted not to answer that. I don't know why, but okay. We move. Should men cook, yes or no?
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you have a mic. Should men cook?
Depends.
Not exactly.
I decided to be controversial. Yes.
Okay, yes. Firewood or induction cooker?
Induction cooker.
Anything other than firewood.
Anything other than firewood.
Induction cooker.
Induction cooker.
Anything other than firewood.
Anything other than firewood. Okay. Cooking for a woman, romantic or pressure?
Say that again, please.
If you're cooking for a woman, is it romantic or is it pressure?
Romantic.
Romantic.
More towards pressure.
Semantic.
Romantic.
Absolute pressure.
I'll let Cassandra, it's pressure for the two of you maybe after this. Is cooking a woman's role? I think you've captured that. Would you want your daughter cooking on smoky firewood?
Absolutely not.
I don't have a daughter, but I wouldn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
anyone cooking on a smoky pot. I don't have a daughter, but I wouldn't want any
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Nataka niwapeleke Ocha wameze
The experience?
moshi kwanza kidogo wapate the experience.
Would you do that to your daughters?
No.
Yeah,
They don't need to win that. In my view, in the world that they live in, they don't need to learn that.
Okay, yes.
I would never do anything like that to even my sons. I think I don't want to pass trauma, firewood trauma to the next generation.
never. Yes, I will do that.
What's your risk? Everyone seems to be differing in that.
For they feel like the stories we will tell them, we've experienced the perils of cooking with firewood. For me, because my daughters are very curious,
Okay.
they ask a lot of questions. So to avoid why, let me show them what we used to have so that they know what we've moved away from. Some show you. You experience it firsthand. You.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. If cooking was to be faster, would you cook more?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Even with evolution, with electric cooking.
Yeah, because I think it doesn't. I don't see the need that it feeds. Yeah. So you don't cook more because you cook what you need. No, so even if the technology is
Often in the kitchen.
sorry, or often.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were saying cook more food. Okay.
No.
Would I cook more often?
Yeah.
No, again. Yeah, because I only cook when I need to cook. So I don't see that increasing. Yeah, it's not a barrier.
No, I think for me, mine is a long answer. That I do find people spend a lot of time cooking. Once you get home, you spend like 2 hours cooking, then you only spend 30 minutes eating, which for me should be the opposite. You should spend 30 minutes cooking and 2 hours eating so that you can have a chance to interact with people, your family, whoever you have there. So I would say anything that reduces the amount of time it takes to prepare food, I would go for.
Oh, nice.
For me, I believe cooking should be fun. So the more time you cook with the family, you should enjoy that time. So it's family time.
Yeah.
No, I will not cook ni. Nataka kuinterview my good friends here. Waniambie nani ataingia jikoni as okay as possible. Mimi see, I know how to cook. I like to cook. I cooked last night. I cook this family more.
You cook with family more?
And if given an option, no. But for the people who cook, and when I do cook, yes, I think it will be more fun if we were working together, as you say.
Okay. So I know all of us have families here. So I want us to have a word to people out there, to our audiences, in terms of cooking and how you can probably even encouragement when it comes to empowering the women in the kitchen with these new technologies that are in the market, and how they can spend time together during the season. Start with Millie.
Now let's start over there.
We start right now. Okay.
But then no comment.
You should have something to tell our audiences. Yeah. Maybe
Circle back on me again. Very, very
sure. Let's go with Paul.
Personally, I think it's time. Valentine time or love time is every day. So you enjoy cooking with your family. Now when they say Mr. Romantic, it's not being romantic. It's just being a family man. A husband, a father. For me, I enjoy cooking with my daughters because they love cooking in the kitchen. And coincidentally, they cook things that I don't know how to cook. They're big. So I'm trying to learn from them as they learn from me with the clean cooking appliances that we have.
Right. So how would you encourage other men to probably empower the women in the kitchen in terms of acquisition?
For men, it's not a cultural thing where you just buy the gadget. Show them you can cook. They might be interested now in looking at the different gadgets that are available, the different clean cooking appliances that are available. So men and women should just look at that as an encouragement enough for you to pick up clean cooking.
Nice.
What is the question again? No, Paul has answered just so wholesomely that.
So in this season where people are celebrating love, how would you encourage men to support their wives in terms of acquisition and even in terms of spending time cooking in the kitchen with their wives?
For the men, I think I would say for people who have wives, please make sure your wife is in a modern kitchen. Cooking using old means is extremely bad for a modern person. So same way we don't use landlines, same way we don't use a lot of old technologies. Cooking is also at that point where you should use cleaner, you should use electric, you should use all these things that are available now. Second advice is instead of buying roses at 10,000 or 15,000, so I know 50,000 for others, equip a kitchen and enjoy the rest of the year together cooking.
Wow. I think that is one of a kind. Instead of buying roses, we can invest in these technologies and appliances. Yeah. Are we circling back to you or?
Yeah, I can go now. Yeah, I'll build on what Dennis has said.
Sure.
Other than the bedroom, I think the other place where the woman shows love is in the kitchen.
Sure.
All right. And you want to create that environment that she requires to demonstrate her love to the family the most. So if she needs a kitchen refit, give her the kitchen refit.
Nice.
Make sure you remodel the kitchen for her to her liking so that the moment she steps into that kitchen, she feels like she's in a place where she can deliver the love to the best of her ability. If it's about technologies, if she's cooking with gas and she wants to move to this highly expensive induction cooker from Italy or wherever, give her that Italian kitchen. I believe that gives her the opportunity to show love to the best of her ability, and I believe the benefit will be to you man who loves who loves us, eventually. So that's basically what I'd say. Don't spare any expense when it comes to that.
Nice. Yeah, we're back.
The reason you're circling back to me is that I'm finding it very difficult answering that question. Because I'm looking at my typical day to day. 70% of the time, my house manager is the one who's preparing meals for us, especially in this modern day and age when both members of the family are working.
Yeah, sure.
So we are rarely spending a lot more time over the weekend or cooking. Majority of the time over the weekend, and I think as we were talking about our weekend plans, you're seeing it's leaving home, taking them away from the home and just allowing them to experience newer things. So that's why I was struggling to answer that question, because from where I'm sitting, I know not every woman does go to the kitchen equally as much. So I was trying to figure out what's my role in encouraging.
But in terms of impact, because as much as you're not going to the kitchen, that is your house.
Yes.
And the cooking is happening for you and your family. So in terms of just empowering even your nannies, because we don't need to just lock it to our wives and our mothers. Even the ladies who support us at home, I believe, needs to experience some of these solutions.
Yes. So I think for me, it's just being able to bring them aware and make them aware about this. And then when you're doing this as an exercise of family and love, how I'll probably encourage that is include your nannies as well, and include the rest of the family.
Nice.
Make it, because I think I agree with what Paul was saying. Majority of the time, the way you can encourage impact is to make cooking a social thing, especially in events such as this. For me, even how I enjoy cooking is a social experience. On a typical Monday, if you tell me to get into the kitchen after leaving work, I'm lying to you. I will go to Glovo or I will eat food that I cooked a couple of days back. So that's the reality I was trying to almost battle with as I was answering your question.
Wow. Nice. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I wish you all a happy Valentine's.
It's the same last question that you asked us.
Yeah.
Back to you.
I think it's most often men don't cook. And for them to cook, like I know my husband would only cook if there is no nanny in the house. If there is a nanny, then trust me, he won't step in the kitchen. But I think in this season, it expresses care. And just him spending time in the kitchen, and I've seen him cook a good number of times, seeing him cut onions, bring everything together and serve us, because it goes even to the place where you serve my food. I know my husband stops at cooking, but just getting to a place where he's serving, I think speaks a lot of love and speaks care for us. And then, of course, when you speak about refitting the kitchen, it makes a lot of sense as we are growing, because some of these solutions that we are introducing in the market are solutions that care for our health. So to me, it speaks that you care about me and you want me to live long. If you are able to give me those solutions that would be safer and give me a cleaner environment, so that when I'm cooking, I'm not inhaling smoke. And then at the end of the day, I start struggling with sicknesses. Yeah.
All right. And here.
Babe, I hope you had. I know. We should really set to this during Valentine's. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I really appreciate your time. We're going to move to where Paul is, because I know the food is ready. Then we'll see if men can cook better than women. You guys will tell us what the test got. It should be.
Welcome, karibuni tena. Leo tunaweza onja saute meat ile tumepika na EPC ya Ignis. Leo tumepika nyama na chapati kwetu kwa jikoni. Karibuni tena.
Nitakueleza Bwana Paul kama umefanya kazi nzuri.
Naomba nisikie maoni yenu.
Ama hii ni mashakura.
Wacha tusikie maoni yenu tafadhali. Asante ndugu.
I can already see an A+ in visuals. It's visually appealing.
Inyama ni soft sana. Niko salama.
Asante. Chumvi ndio umekosa?
Lakini nimepika dakika ngapi?
Dakika 15 ndio tukapata yetu.
Nyama ni soft kweli. Shukrani.
Karibu.
Bwana Paul.
Naam.
Nimepika hivi.
Asanteni.
Nyama iko tamu. Chumvi iko sawa, au jamaa amefanya gani?
Wewe ni kutafuta ugonjwa.
Hata ungekuja pale Mombasani pale, hapo ungetoa kile franchise.
Wiki ijayo acha tujaribu biriani.
Biriani.
Naam.
Hapo sasa nitakuwa na very tight standards.
Hiyo tumezoea.
Umezoea?
Tumezoea. Watazamaji wetu, karibuni.
Kwanza nyama.
Karibu. Asante sana.
Chakula kitamu.
Asante sana, shukrani.
Pressure cooker.
Ni pressure cooker. Ni pressure cooker gani watumia nyumbani pengine? Tuanzie tu hapo, pressure cooker gani watumia nyumbani?
Ndio anakueleza tueleza kama ulichemsha nyama kwanza ama upika vipi?
Amna kuchemsha. Kata vitunguu, nyanya na nyama pamoja. Ukakoroga, ukaacha kidogo, alafu kafunika na electric pressure cooker kifuniko. Unaipea dakika 20-22, unafungua release pressure. Ukifungua nyama iko tayari.
Tofauti na kama ungekuwa unapika na tuseme induction cooker kama uko unatumia vingine.
Tofauti kubwa ile iko ni ngepika na EPC na kupika na induction cooker. The induction cooker lazima nichemshe nyama, niweke kando, niweke sufuria ingine na mafuta, nikoroge kitunguu, nyanya, ndio niweke nyama yangu, nifunike, niongoje. Hii unapika mara moja.
So unaongelea kwamba ukitumia electric pressure cooker unaokoa
muda mrefu sana.
Okay.
Ingekuwa hiyo ingine uwashe, ungoje, uboil, ingekuwa unaongeza karibu dakika 15 zingine kupika.
No. Kando na nyama ambayo umepika, nini tena za tumia kupika sana?
Pressure cooker inaweza pika vitu mingi sana. Kuna wengine wana bake cake nayo, kuna wengine wanapika chapati, hata ugali. Wapi mimi natoka Western, ugali ni lazima. Pressure cooker tunaweza pika ugali nayo. Okay. Naam.
Asante sana.
Asanteni.
Kaya pizza hapo kwa kando. Alafu after hiyo 30 minutes unakuja unapata maharagwe yako iko tayari, hakuna maji mwagiki nje. Ndio unatoa pressure unapata kila kitu sawa. So kwangu hizo vitu mbili. Like it's very user friendly. Alafu pia the chances of chakula bongoni kidogo sana.
Okay, labda tukirudi kwa Evans, maana tukizungumza kwa awali, ilisema kwa mama alikuwa ananunua zile pressure cooker zile za kitambo, sio zile electric. Hapa anatumia sababu ya insect. Ukiangalia vile hiyo pressure cooker inatumika, compare na hii, unaona tofauti kwa?
Tofauti kio kubwa kwa sababu ule wakati unapata kulikuwa na ajali nyingi sana za pressure cooker. Unapata zilikuwa zinalipuka sana. Incidences zilikuwa mingi sana. Ungepata kama mtu amewaka hiyo pressure cooker ya kitambo kwa sababu haikuwa na regulator na hizo vitu zote, unapata ina shida imelipuka. Alafu pia kuangalia muda ni ngumu sana kuangalia muda, naona kama hii iko na ile screen inakuonyesha umetumia muda gani kupika na nini. Hizo enzi za kitambo haikuwa na vifaa kama hizo kama hivyo. Sasa ungepata haikuwa very user friendly.
Okay.
Lakini hii naona ni kama ni user friendly na pia mambo ya ajali ya kulipuka hayako anymore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Labda nyati tukisonga kwako, ukiangalia upishi ambao tunafanya saa hizi, na najua mara nyingi ilisema kwamba ukitoka kazi hizi na kupika. Yaani ukiangalia kwamba time ambao unatumia imefaa condense. Useme kama ni nyama sio lazima ukaage, la chemshe, kaage kila. Unaweza ifanya kwa muda mmoja. Unaona kali kitambo zinaweza badilisha na labda uache temperature kavo.
Yes. Hiyo ni kitu naweza fanya. I think the problem hata si mapishi ni my cooking habits are the ones that need to change.
Yes.
And kujaribu, majority of the time I think vile kwa napika. Unakuja nikaongeza chakula kitamu kweli. I think a lot more if we're able to do this, I'll be able to do it at home. Shida hata si the equipment, shida ni mimi mwenyewe kibinafsi, the cooking habits. And the cooking habits have been established kwa vile kitambo nilikuwa nikianza kufikiria kutemsha nyama, kukata sema hata siku hizi fika nyumbani ukiwa umechoka mbio unaweza tengeneza.
Yeah, so I think ni muhimu kwamba tujue kwamba awareness ni kitu moja ambao tunazidi kufanya tukiendelea ku create content zetu kwa watazamaji wetu. Natumai kwamba kipindi cha leo kimeweza kukufunza kitu na unaweza kuendelea kujifunza ukizidi kuangalia zile vipindi ambavyo tutakuwa tukivitoa. Bwana Paul, una neno la kusema?
Neno la mwisho kusema.
Sure.
Hii ni kujibu nya.
Yes.
Waweza kupima wakati gani unataka kupika na uende zako fanya maneno yako. Utapata pressure cooker yenyewe ina switch on, inaanza kujipikia. Kama ni nyama, kata kitunguu yako, kata nyanya yako, weka nyama, funika, weka time delay. Weka ile saa unataka ipike. Kama wewe unafanya kazi kutoka saa 2 mpaka saa 10, saa 9 itaanza kupika. Saa 10 ukifika nyumbani chakula yako iko tayari.
Oh, nice. Nya, umeelewa hiyo?
Nimekuwa nikiweka nikwambia. Ndio unaanza kujana kwa ground. Ungeniuliza nikiongea about it. Kama theory ningesema you can leave food. I don't know why in my mind sijafanya hivyo. I'm actually going to do that today and see.
Hata ukija hapa utapata kuna delay button mahali hapa kwa screen. Hiyo delay button inakuonesha inakuwezesha ukitaka kupika 3 hours later unapima tu 11 o'clock, saa 2 umeondoka. At 11 itaanza kujipika. Kama ni saa 10 za jioni, weka saa 10 za jioni itaanza kujipika. By the time unatoka kazini ukifika saa 12 chakula yako iko tayari.
Labda nitaje jambo ambalo ningependa uguzie pia ni kwamba ukishapika bado iko na ile ability ya kufanya chakula chako kiwe kimoto.
Automatically ishapika chakula yenyewe ina switch off to warm. Itaweka chakula warm for about masaa 4. Naam.
So ikiwa umeka ile delay na tuseme bado una shughuli zako za kufanya urudi nyumbani saa 3 au utafika nyumbani uanze kuchemsha chakula.
Hapana, utapata chakula yako bado iko na joto kidogo.
Nya, nadhani tunazidi kukuvutia.
Mnanifundisha.
Asanteni sana watazamaji wetu. It's been wonderful. I believe the conversation has been really helpful to each and every one of us. We've learned 1, 2, 3 things. It's exciting to know that Nya can now cook. And I believe Evans will be giving it a shot as well. Yes, thank you so much, Paul. It's been real. Asante sana, Dennis. On to another one. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.